In this lecture, we are going to begin adding content to the home page of the website that we are putting together. So let me go over to my text editor, index.html. Right here, I'm going to make a few changes. I want to make the column 12 on a medium screen. And then I'm going to remove this content. And then I'm also going to remove this div. And I'm going to actually move this to the aside portion. So come here and paste this here. So right here, I'm just going to include the image of Jonathan Edward. So be img images. So this will be Jonathan Edward. Add an alternate text. Should be Jonathan Edwards. And then in the aside portion, I'm going to create an h2 element. And then inside of here, I'm just going to grab some text. So this will be Jonathan Edwards. Going to put a line break, and then I'm going to create a small tag. Then I'm just going to copy another text. This is America Preacher. Paste it here. I also want to create a paragraph here. Just grab a text and put there. This text will be for the paragraph. And then I'm going to create one more paragraph. And then I'm just going to copy the remaining text from here. These are all going to be inside the second paragraph. Okay, we want to make this strong. And then here we want to put a line break. BR. And then add one more. Also going to make this strong. Just going to repeat the same thing here. Same thing here. Okay, so we'll make this strong. And then we also make this strong. All right, so that will be all for the first section here. Let's do a reload on the browser. Okay, so right now we have the web page here. So you can see here that the web page is not properly arranged. This is supposed to be 9 columns and this is supposed to be 3 columns. So it's actually meant to fit into one row. So let's look again at the HTML and see what's wrong. First, I want to get rid of this style that we have here. Also get rid of this one. And then let's look at the page again. We have a container row here. And then you can see that this aside is actually outside of the role. So what we can do is to actually just redesign this quickly. I'm going to move the role outside. All right. And then I'm going to end the role right here. So that way both our site and the main content of the web page are actually inside of the role. So let's do a refresh. Right, so you can see that it's stacking correctly right now, and then the footer is also fitting in. We can no longer see that space again. So the next thing that we need to do is to actually control the images for the responsive website. So if we go back to our style, what we can do for images, we can make the width to be 100%. So we can say img width should be 100%. In most cases should be 100%. But if we have some specific pages where we want to further control the width of any image, then we can create another CSS rule for that specific page. Okay, so let's do a reload. Right, so this is coming out nicely. So I'm going to actually create one more session here. It's going to be super fast. Let's come over to our HTML. Then right here, inside of this session, I'm going to start by creating a role. So everything always be inside of a role. And then inside of this role, we are going to create 2 columns. So this will be dev class should be column, and then should be 12. Same thing for medium screen. So column md-12. All right. And then inside of here, we want to have the header element. Inside of the header, we want to have an H2. And then for the H2, I'm just going to grab the text. So this is going to be the early life of Jonathan Edwards. And then we want to have a main content for this section. Inside of the main content, we want to have a paragraph. Then I'm just going to also grab the text for the paragraph. All right. All right, so right here we are going to have another header. And then we want to have an H2 here. So this is going to be Great Awakening. Just grab the text and then put it here. So we're also going to have the main content that will also be in a paragraph. All right. So create a p tag and then paste it here. Let's quickly move this to new lines. All right, so we can now do a refresh again. Okay, so we have all our content right now. And then you can see that our web page is now styled properly. So the next step is for us to actually style the books page. Okay, right now you see that there is no style and also the contact form that we have here. All right, so I'll see you in the next lecture.